have a Q&A day. When you get that busy, don't do me like that. Any books you would recommend? Yeah. The new schedule did not start today. Went to bed a little later than anticipated, woke up a little later expectedly, and we will be starting that schedule tomorrow or potentially Monday. So today is mostly waiting on emails, waiting to hear back from people. So while we wait for all that stuff, I figured let's have a Q&A day. So I just put a call out for questions and answers on Instagram. Now the fun part of this is normally when I do Q&A on Instagram, I have to limit my answers to 15. First question's from John A. Jane. It's how do you deal with too much new and existing business? When you get that busy, you want to make sure that you have given yourself enough time to continue developing your business, to continue building your client base. So if you're so busy that you can't do that effectively, it's time to either raise your rates or start subcontracting, or both. Depending on what your current rate is, you might have to raise your rate to start subcontracting and still maintain a pretty healthy margin. How do you deal with clients that reply very slow to business decisions? That one's handled, at the beginning of the project when you guys agree on a scope of work. Within that scope should be a schedule. And the schedule isn't just for you. It's not just to say when your stuff is due. It's to say when their stuff is due too. If their notes come in late, their notes come in, next week, the week after, then there will be my favorite expression, schedule or budget implications, meaning that if they don't get you their notes on time, then all bets are off as to the schedule of the project, because you've got other stuff going on too. And if they want to maintain the schedule, it's going to cost more. Shake Shack or In-N-Out, don't do me like that. Don't. I can't make that. I'm not an LA native. I've only been here a decade or so, so I did not have the In-N-Out gene built into me, but I love me some In-N-Out. I'll go with, I can't eat. Shake Shack does have beer though. How many cups of coffee per day? I try to keep it to 2. I have a coffee in the morning, and then I have either a coffee or an energy drink in the afternoon at around 2 o'clock. Is a contract necessary or needed for freelancing? Yes, it's important to have a contract. Here's kind of some caveats on that though. A lot of people think that just because they have a contract with a client, now they're immediately protected and the client's going to pay on time, and if they don't pay on time, you get to point to the contract and it magically happens. A contract isn't going to guarantee you're getting paid on time. That's why you still need to cover yourself by getting a deposit up front and holding on to the deliverable until you get paid. Grain of salt, I'm not a lawyer. I highly recommend that you consult with a lawyer, just buy an hour of their time. But a contract I think primarily protects you from more liability issues. If it gets to the point where somebody's not paying you, you still got to sue them for the contract to mean anything. So and that could be a years-long process, and it could end up being, it's just more of a pain in the ass than whatever's owed anyways. So if you're ever in LA, I'll cook you a dinner on me. I live in LA, so where's my dinner? Any books you would recommend? Yeah, I got lots of books that I could do a whole episode on books. Right now I'm reading for the 3rd time the Neil Gabler Walt Disney biography. The Alter Ego Effect is pretty good. The Category Design Toolkit, $100 Million Offer. I just went through Ryan Holiday's trilogy, The Obstacle is the Way, Ego is the Enemy, Stillness is the Key, and each one of those books is fantastic. But if you can read them together, they really play off one another very well. My perennial book recommendation is Marcus Aurelius Meditations. So I think that's one that I try to revisit at least once a year. How do you get over the fear of never finding work? You get good at what you practice. If you're concerned with your ability to find work, treat finding work like it's your job. A lot of people, think of the amount of time that you spend on client work. Say you put 20 hours into a project for a client. Have you put 20 hours into building your business that week as well? Have you put the same amount of work into your business as you've put into a client's project. A lot of creatives, they know how to do the thing they're selling, but they're not as familiar with how to build a business. Therefore, they shy away from that side of it. You have to build that expertise like a muscle, and you do that by putting in the work. So that's how you get over it. You just get over it by doing it. You spend as much time, if not more, building your business and developing new clients, looking for new places to reach out to clients, crafting, messaging, building different resumes for different offerings, coming up with different services, reaching out to past clients to learn about where their new pain points are, networking with fellow freelancers who offer complementary services so that you guys can upsell each other's clients to one another. You should be spending just as much time doing all of that as you would spend if you had, a handful of client work to do that week. All right, there are a lot more questions, so I might have to do this more often. Maybe we make this a weekly thing.